My name is Fred Weiner, certainly. I'm Assistant Vice President for Administration at Gallaudet University. Part of my responsibilities include community relations, government relations, as well as overseeing construction and master planning.
And how long have you been doing
development and facilities department, as well as I've worked at Gallaudet University for 13 years, and I've grown into the position. I've been doing this particular job for about 5 years now. My major was in business, so a lot of what I'm doing is business related. But I've been very involved with government and community relations, professionally speaking. So yeah, I've had different experiences over the years. I've been working for 25 years now. I've worked in the federal government. I've worked for a deaf nonprofit agency. I worked for a corporation, AT&T. And I've worked here at Gallaudet, so I've had lots of different experiences in my background that have helped prepare me, managing different things. I'd like to be, when I started working at Gallaudet, I live in Germantown, Maryland. That's where I'm. My wife works in Frederick, and we've talked about moving. And my two girls are students here at the university, and so the home that we have is our family home, and it's kind of hard to let go of that because we've been there for many years. We have talked about moving closer in, or moving here, and I've been part of this community since I was a student here in 1979. It's just amazing to see, the many positive changes that have happened in the area over the years. And I remember what it was like in 1979, and it's a different night and day. So they both went to the Maryland School for the Deaf, which is located in Frederick. And my oldest, she lives on Florida Avenue, so we're just here. And next semester she'll be living in Oates, in the Trinidad area. And the younger daughter is still in the dorms. But one nice thing is that we get to go out a lot. In fact, tonight I'm going out to dinner somewhere around here with them. It's interesting you ask that, because I love working at Gallaudet. It's a wonderful place to be. And it's really fascinating to see the evolution, I would call the town-gown relations, and the university to community relationship. And there are a number of different factors that influence that. We have a younger group of students who, as we know, there's a communication barrier that they have to overcome when talking with people in the neighborhood. We have students who grew up in a world where there are less barriers, and they're more used to the idea of interacting with people who are not deaf or know sign language, and they want to be out there in the world. So in many ways, they're driving the changes that Gallaudet's undertaking. So it's really, they've been great getting to know our neighbors, learning about what they want to see happening here, learning about how we can work closely with the community. We have a master plan that looks at opening the campus in a more seamless kind of way to have a relationship between the university and I would say now there are more amenities here. There are more places to go shopping nearby. There's everything that's happening up on H Street. The homes are nicer. They're safer. Crime, I think, definitely has gone down. As with any urban area, of course, it's always a challenge. But it's definitely a safer place to be nowadays compared to when I first came here. When I was a student here, if we had lived off campus, we are more likely to live in PG County and drive in than to live right around the corner. But a lot of our students live very close by. When I was a student, if we wanted to go out, go somewhere, eating out, or we would go to Georgetown. And now they just walk a few blocks down to H Street. What I'd like to see is more opportunities for shopping. There's a lot of good restaurants, but the shopping opportunities are still limited, and so I'd like to see more retail. You know, I don't remember any specific crimes that happened, but I remember that pervasive sense that in the evening, you know, you had to go out in groups. That was like everybody knew you just had, you know, had to look out for each other, and that it wasn't safe. It just didn't feel safe. I do remember after the riots, for example, in '68, I spoke with alumni who were here, you know, during that time, and they would explain that, you know, the campus felt they really contained themselves, that it was just scary to go anywhere, even near the gates, that they wouldn't even go towards the edge of the campus. And it's scary to think about those days in that kind of sense. And now in the evening, I see students walking around. I walk around a lot myself, you know, if there's an event, like the New Samaritan Church, you know, I'll walk over a few blocks. It's nice to see your neighbors, say hello. It's just a different sense, a different feeling. I like to think that we're keeping the character of the neighborhood, and we're keeping that character consistent. My parents, we grew up in a rent-controlled apartment in Brooklyn, and if it weren't for that, my father would have had to have moved out of the apartment. So I'm sensitive to the issues. It's important to work closely with the members of the community and with the city as well to make sure that the changes have a positive impact for longtime residents as well as people who are wanting to move into the area. We have schools here, and how can we improve that education? Can we work together to bring more services to the community? You know, the social work department just had a class where they invited community leaders to come in and talk about how they could work more collaboratively with the university, and that's, you know, it's interesting to find ways to work closely with the community and serve the community. Like there's a lack of healthcare facilities in this area. So as an institution, we are thinking about those things and how we can be a catalyst for those kinds of changes, so that it's not just the, you know, retail development, but that we're bringing more services to residents in the area. Neighborhood, you feel close to the neighbors. People get to know each other. And the more stores that come, the more places, you know, that there are to eat, interact, volunteer opportunities. The appearance of the communities changes. Like I said, the homes become more attractive. They're maintained. They're nicer. And one thing I want to add, which is more personal for me, is that I went to a Ward 5 event a couple of years ago. There were about maybe 200 people there. It was in a library, and it was issues related to UDC. But I was just curious. I wanted to attend the event. It wasn't personally relevant to me, but I watched how people interacted with each other, how familiar they were with each other, how comfortable they were with each other. And it reminded me a lot of growing up in a deaf family, going to deaf clubs. People felt a strong sense of community and bonding with each other. And they were very blunt with each other, very upfront, because they knew each other so well. And I was watching this, and I had a real sense of deja vu. So that quality of familiarity, closeness, bonding, ability to be like family struck me. And I see that a lot in this neighborhood. And there are new people moving in, of course. But the new neighbors, I think, want to maintain that characteristic. And I'd love to see that maintained and continue. It's funny you asked that, because one of my fondest memories was the experience at the library that I just mentioned. It really hit home for me. Yeah, like you said, helping my daughter move in to her house And actually this afternoon I'll be helping her move to Oates. The fun of just getting together with my girls, and as my wife's able to join us, and walking in the neighborhood. We feel like we're part of the community. It's really nice. Well, I just want to emphasize that this university is deeply committed to being a part of the changes in the neighborhood that we all want to see. We've always said we want to take down our gates, or fences, I should say. And I think we all understand it's not going to happen overnight. It will take some time. But we do see that change happening over time. And we do envision having this space on campus for neighbors to come in, to mingle, to interact, and vice versa. It's a very exciting time to be here at Gallaudet, and we hope that people living in the community are similarly excited.
Well, we definitely are. Thank you so much.